This week I'm at Plean Parkrun, trying to find out if I can take my twin brother and arch nemesis Scott Hare's Plean Parkrun family record. Can I also beat him in real time as he runs at a different location, and can I successfully hurdle a Border Collie and avoid injury? Find out this week as I run Scotland's hardest parkrun, according to Scott, on Run Steve Run. After having my ass handed to me by Scott Hare at Cunningham Loop 2 weeks ago, I've decided to return to my usual MO of going behind his back to steal one of his Hare family parkrun records. Given that I'm still licking my wounds from the 2.5 minute ass whipping that he dealt out that day, I've picked the softest parkrun of 29 minutes and 7 seconds to make sure that my fragile ego has no chance of taking another sucker punch and hopefully ensuring an easy victory. It's the running equivalent of losing to your mate at FIFA and then scoring 10 goals against his 9-year-old sister just so you can feel like the big man. Now only 40 seconds into the race and the first hazard appears as this dog wanders out in front of me like a suicidal lunatic. Fortunately, I've managed to skip to the side there like a young gazelle and avoid the danger. Scott Hare, if you have paid that man to try and taunt you hard on me, you'll need to try a bit harder. Another dog up front, a guy there, makes me a wee bit suspicious he's sent him to nobble my race as well, but I will, in a moment, bravely push forward regardless and make my first overtake of the race. Now, it's not just Scott's Hare family parkrun record that I'll be looking at today, as I'll also be keeping an eye on how Scott gets on as he runs Atlantic Moor Parkrun at the same time on the same day. It's a similar traily parkrun to Plean, so I'm going to track his progress against mine kilometre by kilometre and see who runs faster. Training has been going very well for me over the past few weeks, so I am hoping to see some significant improvement, and given that both of these parkruns are relatively small parkruns, each of us actually have a decent shot at finishing in the top 10 as well, something never achieved by either of us. Lots on the line today, so let's have a look at the map and see what we're dealing with. If you look at the bottom left, you can see it's quite a complicated sprawl of mainly trails, although we have started off on this paved section. From here we'll complete a clockwise loop of the top section first, and then we'll go for an anti-clockwise loop on the bottom section before running back towards Plean House, which is where that dog tried to kill me, where we'll finish. As you can see for the elevation map at the bottom right, this is a hell of a hilly course, with Plean being known for its relentless second hill. Scott here warned me that it caught him out as he started too fast and ran out of juice halfway up it, so I will be trying to avoid a similar fate. Right now though, I'm sitting at a nice heart rate in the mid 170s, and I'm also sitting in 5th position, which is a record for me, so I will be trying to maintain that. The plan today is essentially to do what I should have done last time and start with a heart rate of under 180 for the first kilometre and then gradually build towards the mid 190s by the beginning of the 4th kilometre. I'll definitely want to stay controlled in the low 180s until I know I can handle that big second hill, and then I'll push on after that. And as I continue up the trail, you can see it really is getting quite muddy now. It's been absolutely pouring down for the last couple of days, so I've got my trail shoes on, fully anticipating these sort of conditions. It does always take me a wee bit of time to emotionally adjust to these sort of conditions though. I find myself trying to dodge the mud, skip over the puddles like a big lassie, but there always comes a time when you've just got to get your big boy pants on and get stuck in. I think I'll be going left here.
Let's do it.
No, I do in fact get my big boy pants on.
Woo!
If you're a fan of watching me run through mud whilst letting out the whoop of a 12-year-old girl guide, then remember to smash the like button and hit subscribe while you're there, as that'll keep you up to date with all my latest videos. Now on another note, I actually got recognised for my YouTube channel in public in Tesco's this week. A guy approached me and unfortunately just wanted to tell me that he had seen my videos but didn't really like them, so hadn't subscribed. So kind of him to seek me out just to bring that up to me. Not exactly the horde of supermodels looking for me to autograph their boobs that I hoped fame would bring me, but still, it is nice to be recognised. On a more positive note though, at the end of the first kilometre, as predicted, I am smashing Scott's parkrun record so far. It's also an extremely similar first kilometre for me and him this week, as there's only 2 seconds separating my first kilometre from his first kilometre at Lanarkmoor. 4 minutes and 36 seconds is spot on, if not a little faster than expected today. But heart rate is under control, and so far everything's looking good. My positivity is short-lived though, as this uphill inevitably takes its toll, and I'm overtaken by youngster Ella and this runner in the blue shirt Alan as I slip down into 7th place. And as I reach the top of the first hill, the muddy paths now become interspersed with slippery rocks too. Really appreciating the protection afforded by the rock plate in my trail shoes right now, as I take a few harder than expected impacts on jagged edge stones. Whilst it's definitely challenging terrain though, I have to say, I find this far more enjoyable than flat tarmac, even if it does slow me down a bit. In a really tight, muddy corner at the end of this first downhill as I begin the long, slow climb that Scott warned me about. Heart rate has been very controlled up to now, and I'm feeling good and enjoying every bit of Plean so far. It's definitely a course that's best enjoyed after a couple of days of heavy rain though, as you get stuck into the mud like I have in the last kilometre or so. It's another quick kilometre too, particularly considering the conditions, as I complete the second kilometre in 4 minutes and 43 seconds. Unbelievably, that brings Scott and I completely level on time, having both taken 9 minutes and 19 seconds to complete the first 2 kilometres. You may have seen me overtake Ella on the way down, but in a moment she's going to go back past me. As per Run Steve Run tradition, I am caught on the uphill. Still, I'm in 7th position roughly halfway through the race, so looking great. But could this be the beginning of the floodgates opening for lots more park runners to overtake as I begin the long ascent up Plean's infamous second hill? And surprisingly, no one has managed to come past me, and more surprisingly still, it looks as though I'm going to make a move and overtake on an uphill. This is a rare spectacle I've decided to put on for you today. Unbelievably, my heart rate is controlled, I'm overtaking on a long uphill, and I'm maintaining, in fact not only maintaining top 10 position at Parkrun, I'm just about to reclaim 5th. It's almost like all those nights spent running up hills, neglecting my wife and kids have finally started to pay off. Out of the trails now and back onto the tarmac as I complete my 3rd kilometre in a steady 5:24. Very happy with that, given it was all uphill through mud and trails. Scott has managed to build a slight lead of 8 seconds, but his Plean record is all but taken. At this rate, I'll be able to walk the last kilometre and still take his record. Let's hope I don't have to do that though. Wouldn't be the first time. Things are going well for me. As you can see, I'm gaining on Alan, and I'm gaining in confidence. It's time to hunt him down. As I near the top of the biggest hill of the day, I hit some crazy muddy terrain laced with tree roots and rocks everywhere. At this point, my legs are getting very tired. Recently, on my flatter races, it's been heart rate and lung capacity that's been the limiting factor of my finish times, but today, the terrain has my legs feeling weak and beginning to struggle just in sheer muscle fatigue. Four kilometres in and I can still see Alan in the distance at the bottom of this very steep downhill, and given I'm on wobbly legs, this felt way sketchier than it looks. My confidence in being able to catch him is definitely starting to waver at this point, but I knew we'd soon be out of the trail, so hopefully it's going to give my legs a bit of an easier time. A solid kilometre given the challenges, as I did the 4th kilometre in 5 minutes and 6 seconds, still maintaining my 5th position, and miraculously there doesn't appear to be anybody behind me. Scott here has extended his lead to 18 seconds though, and it's beginning to look like yet another superior performance from him. Not sure exactly what I can do to get in his level, although he did mention this week he has a niggle in his Achilles, so I'll just have to hope that gets worse, or ideally both his feet fall off. Heart rate now up into the mid 190s as I push hard to try and catch Alan. Really pleased with how today's gone. I don't think that I've ever felt as strong on the inclines as I have today. Unfortunately, little did I know Alan also has a strong pedigree of hill training, having competed in races across Europe and the Alps, including directly up ski slopes. And that sure is shown today. I'm pushing hard, but I just can't reel him in quick enough. As I come towards the finish line, Alan has now all but disappeared. However, I have to say I am feeling in no way disappointed. During the race I wasn't sure of the exact position I'd finish in, but I did know I'd absolutely smashed my previous best. Once I knew that Alan couldn't be caught, if I'm honest, I have to say I did back off the pace a wee bit, but will that hurt my chances of beating Scott today? Let's get to the finish and see. And I finish in a time of 24 minutes and 26 seconds, which, given the terrain and conditions, is a brilliant time today. How quick does Scott manage it though? He was 18 seconds ahead of me with a kilometre left to go, but he finished in a time of 25 minutes flat, which means I win! Congratulations to Scott though, as he did manage to get his first ever top 10 finish, so well done Scott. I mean, it's not 5th, but it's still a good effort. If I'm totally honest, I think Lanarkmoor potentially runs a little long, so I'm not sure who would have actually won had we been racing at the same event, but even still it's evidence that I'm not as far behind Scott as last week showed at Cunningham Loop. That's all for this week. Here's a wee look at my schedule of races for the next few months. As you can see, there's going to be plenty of big races coming up and hopefully a few more park runs in between as well. Feel free to turn up at any of my events to say hello or show support. If you don't like my videos and haven't subscribed, please feel free to keep that information to yourself. If you are a fan of the show, I'll be available for handshakes and photos with both of you, and if you're going to be accompanied by any supermodels, please let them know. I'll be happy to autograph their tits.